and welcome to In Gratitude. This is our podcast that we like to highlight amazing supporters of the Inn and some of the things that they've done. I'm Dana Lopez. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Inn, and I'm so excited for so many reasons. One, this is our first podcast of 2022, so Happy New Year. We took a little hiatus at the end of 2021 because we have a lot going on at the end of the year, but that actually brings me to the guest that we have today. So I would like to welcome Kenny Friedman. Kenny, thank you so much for being here. And we're going to talk a little bit about what Kenny has done, because this is so cool. Kenny, hi, how are you? Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here.
So amazing. So Kenny is a musician, but you're not just a musician. I mean, talk about what do you do, Kenny?
Well, I was playing weddings and bars and living the musician life for most of my life and career. And when things locked down in March of 2020, I took my shows online on Facebook. I was doing Facebook Live shows. Just who knew how long it was going to last? We figured maybe it would be a week or two. And we just pressed go live on Facebook and put up a couple PayPal links and said, hey, look, I don't have any income right now. So if you want me to play you a song, send a couple bucks and I'll play your song. And it was really it was means to an end for the time being. And as the weeks and then the months wore on, the influence on Facebook started reaching out across the whole country, and we built a whole community, a nationwide community of people who were brought together by the music, but we saw friendships starting outside of the live streams as well. So it was very gratifying for something that just started as a way to keep myself in shape, make a few bucks, became something much more than what it set out to do, and we've got a community of thousands of people at this point.
You have quite a following. So what happened was, and the reason why Kenny is here with us today is that you were part of our Giving Tuesday campaign on Facebook. So most people know that Giving Tuesday is a global day of giving. It happens every year. It's the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. It was kind of like the answer to, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Instead of purchasing, it was an opportunity for people to give back. And it's mainly social media driven. Every year we do a Giving Tuesday campaign on Facebook, but this year, Kenny, you decided to do one of your own fundraisers for the Inn. So why don't you talk a little bit about how that happened?
Sure. I first found out about the Inn in June of 2021, when my mother, Nancy, emailed all of her children and grandchildren. It was her birthday on June 25th. And the week before, she said, I don't want presents. If you wanted to get me something, donate to my favorite charity, the Inn. And that was the first that I had heard of it. I did a fundraiser on Giving Tuesday in 2020 for Island Harvest. And we raised a bunch of money, not as much as we raised for you guys. But so in June, I think my mother was expecting $25, $50, $100 donations from her kids. And I said, you know what, let me get the community together and see what we can do in a couple of hours. And I obviously researched the group. I saw what you were doing. I saw that it was good work and it was local work. And I think we raised about $900 or $1,000 for that fundraiser.
Wow.
And then, so for Giving Tuesday this year, I wanted to do something again. And in October, my father had passed away, and he, when he was able to, was very dedicated to another group that was distributing meals and helping hungry people eat. And I wanted to tie in something with his memory in his honor. Something popped up that said, have a Giving Tuesday fundraiser and we'll match the donations. And I was like, oh, let me see if my dad's group is on there. I didn't see his group, but I did see the Inn, who I remembered from doing the fundraiser last June. And I said, perfect, because why not go with an organization that I know, and why not go with an organization that Facebook is gonna kick in also. So that was how it all came together. It was between both my parents. My mother brought me to the inn, and then in my dad's memory, we did the fundraiser. So it was kind of my parents' fault. Blame them.
Oh, we always blame the parents, right? Well, let me say that, first of all, that I'm so sorry for the loss of your father. I did notice that it was a really, you had his picture up there. It was a really beautiful motivation to do something good for somebody else. So our condolences for the loss of your father. And I was actually pretty amazed that he had just passed. I mean, you said weeks before this happened, you said October, so it wasn't very long. And I was also moved by the fact that you took that, those feelings and the pain that goes along with the loss that you were experiencing and turned it into something good. So your fundraiser, before it even raised a dollar, caught my eye. But the story doesn't end there, because you ended up raising, I have an amount here, $4,533 for your Giving Tuesday Facebook fundraiser for the inn, which is amazing. I will say, as a whole, between all of the amazing support that we got for Giving Tuesday, we raised a little over $22,000. And most of it was online. And the beauty of crowdsourcing, which is what this basically is, it's like a lot of donors, a lot of people giving small amounts, and every single dollar counts, right? But your fundraiser was a big chunk of that. So thank you to you, and also all of your followers and the people that were following you and really just like cheering you on, and they wanted to see that number go up.
We had already almost reached our goal before the end of the day. So I just kept bumping it up and bumping it up and bumping it up.
Yeah.
And it was just, it succeeded beyond anything that I could have imagined.
Now, I just want to talk about the live stream for a second, because that's really the key here, because normally and historically for us, any Facebook fundraisers that we've done is really just, somebody going out to their immediate network and saying, I love this charity, and or I'm passionate about this cause. Would you mind, donating a few dollars? But you went a step further because of the talent that you have and because of what you do. And you did a live stream on Giving Tuesday that night for, was it 2 hours that you were playing, and just played music and sang? And it was a fun thing. And I mean, if you go back, the comments and, people were interacting. It was just a really great time.
Could we have kids for breakfast? Mommy dear, mommy dear. We gotta have them in Texas, 'cause everyone's a millionaire. I'm a winner, I'm a sinner. Do you want my autograph? What a joker, I'm a loser, playing my jokes upon you. Well, there's nothing better to do.
It was very gratifying knowing that I was doing something good for many other people. And at the same time, I had built this community around my music and around my performances, and everybody was coming together. And then I was doing something that my dad would have done himself, or at least would have been proud of me for doing. And the whole thing was just such a positive experience.
That's so great. Was your dad also a musician?
He played folk guitar, and he did a lot of musical theater. He sang also. The last thing he did was he did regular concerts with the Huntington Men's Chorus. They did a couple of shows, a Christmas show and a summer show every year, and he loved it. He felt like he was a part of something, even when his mind started to slip at the end. He would still do that, and he had dementia, and he slid and he slid and he slid, and he ended up living in a care facility at the end. And even when he couldn't really remember anything or barely speak, he reacted to music, and he would sing along, and when he forgot everything else, he remembered the words to the songs.
That's incredible. I'm sure that as you said, he would have really enjoyed it. But the fact that it was in his name, and it's just a really special thing, I think, to do that, because it takes your it takes giving back to sort of the next level when you do it in memory or in honor of somebody. So again, I just, I can't really stress that enough. But just so you know, so Facebook does match some of the donations. So as a whole, I think they matched something like $120 million of the donations. The what was raised on Giving Tuesday was a lot higher than that. I still haven't gotten a number yet, and I'm sure it's, I'm going to say small, not to, it's not probably not a huge number, but the fact is, and this is true, of all of the Facebook fundraisers that we've never had a Facebook match until now. So that is something that you also, without even realizing it, did. So it didn't match everybody's donations. It took your fundraiser and it matched a portion of that. So I will have that number one day. I hope. Took a lot of digging, but it's really cool because
even if it's $10, it's something, right?
Absolutely. If it's $1, it's something. It's absolutely, because it's definitely a piece of that, and they don't dole it out to everybody. So that's important to remember. So Kenny, I just wanted to, again, thank you so much for your efforts. I loved the live stream. I'm a follower now. So I just really appreciate the effort that you took, and thank you to your mom, because we really appreciate everybody that follows us and that supports us in any way. And that doesn't even have to be a monetary donation. It can be sharing information about us with your family and friends and saying, hey, I love this, maybe you can love it too. So what do you have coming up? What are you going to be doing on your live streams?
Well, my career at this point is mostly live streams with a few in real life, what we call IRL, in real life shows sprinkled in. My live streams are generally 3 to 4 days a week. My one channel is twitch.tv/the Jukesters, TheJukesters. And then my second channel is a little more niche, but it's twitch.tv/Kenny's Prog Rock Jukebox, where I play a lot of progressive rock of the 70s and Pink Floyd and Genesis and Rush and that sort of music. It's a little more it's a little more niche, where the Jukesters is a little more universal classic rock and roll and R&B and things like that.
Very cool. We hope that this is the beginning of a friendship between us. It sounds like it's in the family now for you guys. And we really do I love just the creativity and everything that went along with the fundraiser. Thank you for choosing us for that fundraiser on Giving Tuesday. And I just wanted to let everybody know how just one little thing or a bunch of little things sort of put together, and using your own resources and your own talents could really there's so many ways to give. So you found one of those ways. I thought it was great. And maybe it'll be some inspiration for somebody else.
And people should just remember that no amount is too small. If it's just $5, if it's $10, it makes a difference. That most of that $4,300 we raised was $10 and $20 donations. We had a few super generous donations, but if you have 4,000 people watching and everybody sends in $1, what's $1 to one person? But that's $4,000 you can raise very easily. So even if you don't have the means to give a lot, give anyway, because if everybody does a little, it amounts to a lot.
That's 100% correct. And it's true. It's true. Anybody can give anything or do something to help. And that is absolutely true. Kenny, thank you again. Follow Kenny. He's awesome. And I guess hopefully we'll speak again soon.